Alright guys, hello and welcome to another episode of HRL History. What are we on now? Let me check. Is this going to be episode 5 or episode 4? Let me give that a little check real quick. But this episode is going to be, a little bit of foreshadowing on this one. Alright, episode 5, just making sure. Little bit of foreshadowing on this one. Of course, in the last episode, MCC, talking about all the MCC series and stuff like that. Went over MCC World of Outlaw a little bit. And, of course, MCC TRS, and I think I mentioned in that video I hyped up Halo 4 World of Outlaw and Halo 4 TRS quite a bit. I'm going to pay off that hype, I hope, a little bit in this episode. Because trust me, it is well deserved. So first we're going to be going through World of Outlaw. I'm not going to be doing both of them in this episode, by the way. 2 separate episodes. I'm going to be doing World of Outlaw, Halo 4 World of Outlaw this week. And then next week I'll be doing Halo 4 TRS for episode 6. And then maybe episode 7 will be ready to do that special track history episode, because that's going to be a really cool one. Definitely tune in for that. But I don't want to burn myself out of these, so I'm just doing this one this week, the TRS one next week, and then hopefully the week after that, we are then ready to do that track history episode. We'll see how it goes. I don't want to rush into that one, because that one's going to be cool, and all the track history episodes are going to be really cool, and they're going to be like, we have these normal episodes. The track history ones are going to be like the special ones that I hyped up a lot going into the HRL history series, where I was like, okay, I'm going to do these interviews and these other types of history videos that are going to be like really special compared to the normal ones, and those are going to be ones you don't want to miss. That track history one will be like the first of those. So yeah, definitely look forward to that one. That'll be hopefully a little over, around like late May, a little over halfway through May. That's what I'm hoping for, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, first World of Outlaw race, you could just say, because it started in Halo 4. So the World of Outlaw series, I explained it in the last episode. I'll explain it again here. The World of Outlaw series is a oval racing series, so we only race on ovals in these. They're supposed to be based on dirt tracks, but we kind of just did whatever. But most of them are supposed to be. We tried to base them on dirt tracks. That just didn't always work. And what we did is we would drift in the corners. So like in the straightaways, you would lay off the drift. That's okay. But in the corners, there'd be certain markers. Like there's cones on this track. There could be cones. There could be a certain like line of a certain color. Point is, there would be markers in the corners and the entrances and the exits of the corners of where you'd have to get on the drift and where you'd have to let off the drift. And you'd have to try to follow those markers as strictly as you possibly could. If somebody just egregiously did not follow those drift markers, they would receive a pretty hefty penalty for that, because this is a very like honor system type series, unfortunately, for it to work, which just sucks, because as you'll see throughout some of these races, like this series is freaking dope and can create some awesome racing, some awesome racing moments. But yeah, it's just sort of an honor system type thing, and we've had people try to cheese it throughout, which was always unfortunate, because when you have a good group of drivers that aren't cucks and just race it how it should be, like then it turns out really, really well and really fun. So one thing that we did for World of Outlaws, we actually did do qualifying for it, and we're gonna have a few lore things before we get into the race here. So we did do qualifying for it. And I think for qualifying, I think we just did 1 lap is all we did. So used to doing like 2 laps of qualifying. I think that's all we did was 1 lap. So we do the 1 lap of qualifying, and then that would give you a spot in the heat race. And then you'd race in the heat race. I think we did. It might have just been 1 big heat. I think it depended on how many people we had in the lobby. I think we either did 1 big heat, or we would do 2 heats. Let me check. I think it's just 1. Oh, no, my bad. No, that's not true. So it was like HRL Season 3, the episode of Magna Tempest. It was like that. So maybe that was a different series where we just did the 1 big heat. For World of Outlaw, we did, depending on the amount of people, 2 heats. Usually, I'm looking through the schedule, almost every single race was 2 heats. This first race, we actually did 3, so I don't know why we did 3 for this one, but for most of it, we just did 2 heats. So do the qualifying lap. That puts you in a heat. Do your heat race. Your finish in that would determine your starting order for the feature. I think you could get bonus points off the heat win. I think you could also get bonus points off of leading laps. I think you could get bonus points off of leading the most laps. So like pretty general stuff here. Pretty general stuff. Like this is just, you know, usually how our bonus points, our point systems have worked. So all that's like pretty par for the course here in this series. And one other thing I want to go into is the division system. So I don't want to show the points or like the docs or anything because that's just going to spoil races. We'll go over the divisions at the end. We'll save that to the end because it's just going to spoil things. So let's just see how this video kicks off.
I'll go through the order while they are doing it. Redneck will be starting first. Then that Snake right there in second. Marines in third. RCR in fourth. Come back here to the back of the pack.
I think we got a good view here of the drivers. Let me double check and make sure I have all the drivers in this race. Okay, cool. So doing my same thing that I've been doing in a lot of these videos, you know, going through the drivers, giving their own little histories. Like I said, there may be specific histories for certain drivers in the future. But for now, I'm just like doing these race videos and sort of going through the drivers as we go through them. So the drivers in this field. In the back row. In the back row, we have Matt, DJ, and myself. So our fam group there in the back, and I don't know if we've done. I don't think DJ's been in one of these episodes yet. And now that I think about it, Matt was in the World of Outlaw MCC episode. So, and I've been in each of the episodes, as I should be in most of them. So I don't have to explain too much for Matt and I did most of that. I can do a little bit here for this one specifically though for Matt. So Matt's actually, he's the one that came up with the idea for this series. So this is kind of like his baby for him. Matt was actually pretty instrumental in coming up with the series ideas for a few of the HRL early histories because Go-Kart, which we'll be returning to here shortly, hopefully in Halo 5, Go-Kart series was him as well. Came up with that classic Eagle River track, and then it just sort of, you know, all spread out from there. And some other go-kart tracks that aren't remembered as much. The main one from Reach that's remembered is Eagle River, but there were some other pretty dope ones that he made as well. And then World of Outlaw. I think we're just screwing around in a custom lobby one day. I'm pretty sure that's what happened, and it's just like, all right, you know what, let's just drift in the corners. So we tried that, and it ended up being a really good time. So we're like, you know what, we should just make that into a series. Like this could be something really special. And that's kind of how this started. And we even had like the same thing that we saw in the MCC episode with the trailers. There's even trailers for this, so maybe I'll pull those up in the side here at some point. But right now I want to get into the race once we go through these drivers. But yeah, maybe I'll show the trailers at the end of this too, because those are kind of cool too. So this episode can be a little bit of like Halo 4 World of Outlaw history mixed in with this first race, kind of like what we did with the Daytona Reach one. So Gator on the outside here. Was Gator should have been in the CRL race, right? Yeah, he had to have been. So Gator, of course, like league owner of the CRL, big Supercross fan, went through that before. He also wanted to participate in this series, thought it was a cool concept. I think Snake, I think most of these are Gator's friends too. So RCR, Mr. Marine, Snake, and Redneck. I can't say too much on any of the four of them, aside from I think that they were mostly Gator's friends and maybe Turkey as well. But I think RCR might have been in that CRL race, so you may recognize him from that. I'm not sure. I don't think any of the other three were, but I think RCR was. But anyways, that's the best introduction I can give on the drivers. Oh, and DJ, of course, oldest brother of our family of four, or obviously four just including us brothers, like not counting in our parents or anything. And DJ's the oldest out of all of us, and he ends up participating in some of these races throughout some of these episodes. So never really like too consistent in the Halo racing, but you'll see him pop up here and then throughout the series and in real life races, legend cars on dirt tracks. So pretty cool. And decided to participate for this one. So see how this goes. Let's get back into it.
Back we have Matt here in 5th, DJ in 6th, Luke in 7th, Ross Brothers Racing row right there. And then Gator in 8th, who was acquired by Ross Brothers Racing after the race, so pretty much the RBR row right there. Just that a little bit so you can see better. There we go. But yeah, they're still going around for the parade lap. Supposed to be lined up 4 wide. No idea what Redneck's doing. Oh, here they're getting lined up for the start. Sorry. Grade lap's over. We're going to watch Gator from the back on this restart. Marines needs to get up there. There he goes. This will start off our 55 lap feature, and green flag. Many drivers already shuffling. DJ got a great jump on the outside to get on the top of RCR. Matt also went to the inside of Marines immediately. DJ up there in second. He had a great run on that restart, but then RCR is running him all the way up the track. We have a 5 wide going on right there. And then Marines was kicked, and this will bring on a caution because of he was still flicking the drift button, and even when we were telling him to stop doing it, he wouldn't stop. He kept doing it. So we decided to kick him from the lobby. He should be back next race, and we'll watch him there to make sure he drifts completely, and if he does, then he should be fine. So anyways, you're going to get lined up for the second restart. This is going to be basically a complete restart of the race. So we're not counting that as the first lap. This is going to be a complete restart of the race. We're going to watch Gator again from the back. Here we go, getting lined up, about to go green. And green flag. Redneck gets a huge jump. Redneck, huge jump on the restart. Gator's immediately going to the inside of Luke and DJ. Here comes Gator. They're going 3 wide right there. Luke and DJ with that grip on the outside. Get it. Oh, and Luke wheelies down the front stretch. And that'll bring out a caution. But now I think is the perfect time to explain the divisions. What we do in this World of Outlaw series is basically it's a 3-way battle for the championship. Or there's 3 championships that people are battling for. Only one person cannot win all 3. However, you can win 2. Because the way it works is there's an overall championship, which is all drivers pooled together. Then there's the division championships. Each driver gets put in a different division, either 1 or 2. And they battle out in their own division as well. So you could get a Division 1 championship and an overall. You could get just a Division 1 championship. You could get a Division 2 championship. Because there's different drivers in different divisions. I'll go through who those drivers are right now. Snake and RCR are Division 1. Right there's Matt,
Alright, sorry, I was
Division 2,
gonna talk for a
DJ's
bit.
Division 2, Gator's Division 2, and Luke's Division 1.
So I think explaining the division system here, I guess, because I'm getting into it in the commentary, I guess now is a good time as any to just actually get into it and explain it. It was basically just an extra layer of racing on here. So each driver, gets to race in the race with everybody, but we separated the racers into certain divisions, and each division had their own division championship to go for as well, and their own wins within their division. But everybody would be scored, like for the big race, everybody would be scored the same, if that made sense. So like the division system was a completely separate thing, just like a separate level of competition, I suppose.
DJ gets a little loose, he falls back. Redneck does not drift at all through that corner until midway through.
Roasting.
And then does not drift at all in the exit, and starts pushing Luke down. We have a 4 wide right here. Redneck not leaving much room for the people on the inside. To the back here, here's Matt. Snake in the lead for Division 1. Redneck in the lead currently for Division 2. Here goes Luke trying to get on the inside of Redneck, but Redneck pushes him all the way down into the grass. Redneck literally leaving no room for anybody on his inside. Luke shakes up a little bit on that turn right there.
Some FLR level racing here. Let me get an
and
FLR
here comes
episode.
RCR,
I'll explain
and Luke's
that.
inside RCR, a Division 1 driver. So Luke and RCR are battling for Division 1 right there.
So a little bit of history on this track while they're racing right now. This track was actually, I don't know if this is the one that they ended up racing. I think it was. I think this track was actually made by Darkstar for the ORL. So like some of the tracks that we make in the future for this series, not the ones that you'll see early on here, these early races, but some of the tracks that we do later on were specifically made for this type of racing. This track was not. This was just an oval track designed to be raced like an oval track, and no drifting or anything like that. Just completely normal racing on this one, and that's how this one was designed. I think that. In the title we name it Watertown Raceway. So I don't remember what the actual name for this track is. I really don't remember. I think the reason we called it Watertown Raceway for this series was because we wanted to have all the tracks with realistic track names, or with track names based off of real locations, to give it that extra added feeling for it being the World of Outlaw series. So that's why we did that. So I don't remember what the actual name for this track is. I'm sure some ORL people probably know. Gator frickin' cold trickling the start. Yeah, I'm sure some ORL people remember. I don't exactly remember what it actually was. But yeah, I think that we just called it Watertown Raceway. The gonking with Redneck. It's too funny. I'm sorry. I think that we called it that just to ground it in reality. So it didn't. That's not what it was actually called, and it was made by Darkstar. I wish I could tell you the actual name of the track. I do not recall, but I'll see if check the comments after this video is posted. I'm sure an ORL person remembers. There's no way I could try to find it, but I really doubt I could find it at this point. But yeah. So shout out to Darkstar for making this track. Because I don't think it was this track. I think it was one of his other ones that we went on when we came up with the idea for this series. But then after that we went on this track. We're like, this track's pretty cool too, and this track also works really well for this World of Outlaw series. So that's sort of where we got the idea for it, was on these oval tracks that he made just for regular racing, and they just happened to work well for this series too. So that just worked out kind of nicely. And of course, Darkstar, league owner of the ORL for the first few seasons, and I'm sure we might even have, like, even though it's HRL history, may even have some stuff involving him later on. But that's probably like the biggest mention that he'll get in most of these videos is track creation, which he didn't make too many tracks, but some of his do get in here for this one, so that's always pretty cool.
Because he knew he jumped that. DJ and RCR battling. We have a 3 wide between Gator, Luke, and Matt. Yep. Division 2 battle for the lead right there between Redneck, Matt, and Gator. But here comes RCR and Luke. They're going to come into play as well. RCR pushes Gator up high a little bit, probably because of what Gator did to RCR, I'm assuming. Here comes... Oh, Redneck pushes Luke all the way into the grass. Pushes DJ there as well. Redneck
rivalry I have with Redneck. I don't know.
No room for anybody on his
I don't
inside.
remember
Luke
this.
goes way inside, slams into Redneck.
It's so dumb.
Obviously not happy with the way Redneck's racing.
Oh.
And DJ has a huge flip.
That was bad. Let's see that again.
Watch that again. Here comes DJ. Luke's going to try to go as far inside as possible. DJ gets on that grass, and a huge flip for DJ after such a good run. Let's watch another replay of that. Here he comes, and boosh. Wow.
That was a tough crash. Wait, did we already do this?
Caution was called. Luke slams Redneck all the way into the wall. Obviously not happy with the way that Redneck's not leaving any room.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is great. This is great.
Still quite a bit of this race to go. About 40 laps.
So the rage that I have at Redneck here, right, being as unbiased as I can now in the future, isn't mostly because of the way he's racing, like, kind of blocky, which is a thing, but it's not really because of that. If you watch Redneck throughout this race, especially in the early portions, he was not adhering to the drift rules and was at times, like, literally just tapping the drift button, like, once throughout a corner. It was like, I drifted, you saw it right there. So that's basically where that rage, like, you could even see it there for a little bit. He started that drift way late into that corner, and that's where that came from. And that's just, like, the unfortunate part of this series is stuff like that. I don't know. So many people were just dumb about it, and you just ended up having to kick so many people that we just didn't have too many people to race because we didn't have many people that would actually like race this legit. But when we get into some of the future World of Outlaw races where it ends up being less people, like 6 to 8 people or so, but it's 6 to 8 good drivers that we can all trust, some of those races are great. Like when we get to the Chili Bowl race where it's like me, Matt, Turkey, Slaunch, NJD, Sector, like just some of the names that pop into my head right away. Just racers that you know aren't going to like cheat it. Those races are really good, and those races ended up playing out pretty amazingly and pretty fun to watch. So when we get to some of those races, that's where this racing gets really good. I just wanted to go for this one first because this is the first race, and you can see some of the it like gives you some good perspective on seeing some of the growing pains of this series, I guess.
He lined up for the restart. We're going to watch DJ's view, see how he can recover from this crash. Matt and Luke, RBR, 1-2.
Oh, Matt and I found our way into the lead. I didn't even realize it. I don't know where that happened.
And green flag. Luke immediately goes way outside as he usually does. Matt's going to hold that inside for now. We got a 3-wide battle for the lead up there.
Oh, this is getting hot. That's hot.
Between RCR,
That's
Matt,
hot.
and Luke. Oh, huge battle for the lead. And then here comes Snake and Redneck. We got 3 wide still going on between Luke and Snake and Matt. RCR leads a lap. Wanted to take note of that because I thought he led a lap. That was for the race results right there. Oh, here comes
Oh!
Luke. Redneck. It's a little loose. We got a 4-wide battle for the lead. Snake's got it right now. Luke gonna try to do a slide job on RCR, pulls it off. Matt's gonna go to the inside of Snake. He wants to battle for that lead, get it back. Here comes Luke on the inside of Matt. Gets a good run off the turn. They really want to take that lead back from Snake. Running side by side. Matt goes to the high side. He really likes the high side on this track. Here comes Redneck. How did he get that much of a run to the bottom? Let me replay that.
Oh, drama alert.
Personal business right here. I gotta do a replay of this.
Drama alert.
How did Redneck get that much of a run? Oh, he let off early, that's why. Well, anyways, Redneck comes up here and is gonna battle with Luke for the lead. And with Snake as well. Snake is not happy with Redneck either for, whoa, huge crash, Matt flips, everybody wrecks, Snake and Redneck wrecks as well. Did not get a very good angle in that crash. Let's go to Gator, he's got a perfect view right here. Snake pushing Redneck down. Oh, Matt just got on that inside and came up and flipped. Yeah, Snake not really happy with Redneck either because of actions that happened in the heat race and qualifying. But here, let's watch this flip from Matt. Boosh.
All the hostility in
hits
this
the inside
race.
and goes spinning. Right there. Wow.
Tempers were flaring in
Plenty
this
of flips
first
this
race. I don't know
race.
what's going on.
And then Gator takes the lead because of it. Gator led a lap. Wow, I did not realize that. And then back here, again, some conflict going on after the caution. Luke's still not happy with Redneck. Neither is Snake.
Oh, here we go. Here we
They
go.
crush him in the middle right there. And then Redneck flips. Holy crap. I gotta watch that. I have to
my
watch that. Sorry, that
God.
was just too
This-
amazing.
this
I know
is
this is
great.
under caution, but this is just
great.
too amazing of a flip. Watch this.
This is so
Snake
dumb.
and Luke crunching Redneck in the middle, and there he goes. Holy crap.
Oh my god, the
Huge flip
hostility
from
in this
Snake,
race is just
and then
amazing.
Snake's booted from the game.
Ah!
No. Huge flip from Redneck, and then Redneck's booted from the game.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's funny. That's funny.
But wow, that was a flip. So Redneck finally gets booted. Many
So after that, we had enough, and the boot was given on Redneck. Oh my god! I think the first mid race kick of an HRL history episode. That's what you love to see. Wow. So now we're down to 6, and I think that we're down to 6. I think Mr. Marines left a while ago, while I must have been doing the commentary, so I missed that. and then and then Redneck gets conked. So that was just a long time coming. So now we go to the end of this, the second half of this race, like 20 minutes left or so.
Here we go, green flag. Snake
Should be cleaner
in the
from
lead
here
for
on
Division
out,
1.
I hope.
Matt wants to stay in lead for Division 2 because Gator and DJ are all the way back here. RCR wants to get back in that battle. Got a 3 wide for the lead. Seen that a lot in this race. Snake on the inside, Luke in the middle, Matt on the outside. Matt likes that outside grip. He has the lead so far. Here comes DJ. And Gator as well. Matt leads that lap. Takes it
Yeah, you
from
can
Snake.
make the outside work a little bit on this
Here comes
track,
Gator
but I
on
think
DJ. DJ's
some of the
trying to
later
hold that outside line.
World of Outlaw tracks are a little more outside focused. This one was a more so inside track.
Snake and Luke, Division 1 drivers battling for that Division 1
Outside
win.
wasn't bad for a battle, though. Finally gets booted. Oh my god.
Here comes DJ. He's going to do his slide job on Gator. Works
RCR
out, he's going
really
to
fell
pass
out
him.
of
Now
this.
he's going to start working on his brother Luke.
And Snake's led most of this, so he's trying to get back into it.
Oh, DJ gets a little loose. Loses some ground. Battle with Gator again. There's Snake and Luke. Snake tries to do a slide job on Luke. Luke's going to go to his inside. Good battle right there. All while this is happening, Matt is running that outside line like a champ and holding that lead.
And yeah, you can
Outside
tell it's
line
not
can
terrible.
really work on this track if you know how to run it.
But I do think it was an inside Dom track for sure.
Snake and Luke, though, are gaining. Luke does a little slide job on Snake. Snake's going to come back to Luke's inside. Luke blocks, comes back up now that he sees Snake is there. Here comes Snake. Snake's going to try to do a little slide job on Luke now. Does not work. Luke now is going to have to run the outside for a little bit. Oh, Snake does a block pass.
Man, imagine
Slide
if you
job.
could do
Luke comes right back to the
a
inside to
scripting
battle
in
with Snake.
Halo 5 to where it forces
And
you.
it
Oh,
looks
almost
like
had
we
a
have
caution.
a caution on the track. I think DJ wrecked is what it looked like.
Imagine if you could do a scripting in Halo 5 to where it forces you to drift in the corners, so like you don't need the honor system. You just like get in the drift zone, it just forces you into it and out of it. That'd be so sick. Too bad Halo 5 drifting sucks ass. We'll get to that later. But yeah, if you haven't noticed, there's no World of Outlaw. There hasn't been a World of Outlaw series in Halo 5, and that's because Halo 5's drift physics are just bad. Like, there's literally one track that we raced on Halo 5 World of Outlaw worked really well on. Like, one track out of how many ovals. So that's just kind of unfortunate. So that's why, I guess I should have mentioned that in this video. I can get into it right now. But that's why we haven't seen World of Outlaw since MCC, is because Halo 4 and especially MCC's physics were just super good for World of Outlaw. It was just perfect for it. I don't really know how Reach would have went. I don't remember. I don't think it could have worked on Reach either, but I'd have to go back to it. I don't exactly remember at this point. But just like, it worked so well in these games. Halo 5's drifting is just not nearly as good, and that's why we don't see the World of Outlaw series on Halo 5, which is unfortunate because this is a pretty cool, unique original series that we had on Halo 4 and MCC, and have a lot of cool races for it. Like I said, like, this is just the first race, and like I said, in this first race you see a lot of the growing pains, stuff like that. But some of the races that we'll get onto later on in the series, some of these World of Outlaw races, like I said, the Chili Bowl race. Chili Bowl race is just absolutely phenomenal. Some of the Chili Bowl races that we had are just amazing. There's this one track called Springfield that we end up racing on that just had an amazing race. There's another track, I forget, maybe Glen Alpine, that had great racing. Reeseville Raceway was amazing. So yeah, well, there's going to be a lot of Halo 4 World of Outlaw HRL history episodes, because some of those races, once we got like a really good group of drivers, and those races just turned out great. But let's get back into the battling here.
Here comes DJ. He's finally gaining some ground. Oh, there's Gator too, sliding on that inside.
The Snake back in the lead here, I think. Yeah.
DJ had to let off the drift a little bit there, make sure he didn't hit the wall. Snake still in the lead. Then there's RCR in second. Snake hits the inside. Hits the inside. I don't know what to call it. There's this little part where the inside does not have any grass below it, and Snake hit that point, and that slowed him down a little bit. Oh, Snake door slams Matt after getting passed by RCR. That's going to help Matt and Luke catch up to Snake. Matt's going to put a slide job on Snake. Not really happy with that. Here comes Luke. Snake door slams him as well. Luke gonna get a little bit of a draft from Snake. Whoa, really fast in that turn.
Draft. Lol.
Matt and Luke running the exact same line, trying to catch up to RCR. RCR is going to hold that outside. Seems that the leader tends to stick with the outside for its grip. Inside's a little bit loose, so if you're in the lead, you want to try to have as much grip as possible. Snake does a little slide on Luke. Luke's going to come back and try to battle with him. Matt's also lurking for that lead. We have a battle between Gator and DJ back here. Oh, Snake and Luke side by side. Matt is slingshotting out of that outside turn 2 exit, trying to gain on RCR. Watch, here he comes. RCR's running way outside, even making a little contact with the wall. That's going to slow him down a little bit. Whoa, Snake and Luke, huge slides on the inside.
You can tell the race got a lot cleaner in the second half. Not as many collisions and cautions, stuff like that.
Yeah, you can see Matt, he's definitely lagging a little bit. Snake and Luke still having a side by side battle. Here comes Luke to the inside of Snake. Snake's going to try to hold that inside off Luke, pulling some tactics similar to Redneck's. Three-wide battle for the lead between Snake, Luke, and RCR. Luke slides out, lost that grip. That's what happens when you run the inside for too long. Lose a little bit of grip. Now he's going to move to the outside. He wants the grip. RCR still holding that lead. Wow, RCR led way more laps than I thought he did. RCR
what happened?
Randomly stops in the middle of the track. I'm not sure if that was black screen or really what that was. I honestly do not know what happened to RCR there, but that's going to bring out a caution. And we're going to wait.
So, yeah, I'm guessing RCR got black screen there, which is just... I could go into that. I don't think I've mentioned black screen in an HRL history episode yet. So, in Reach, in Halo 4, I don't think it really happens on Halo 5 and MCC. On Halo 5 and MCC, if it happens to everybody. But on Halo 4 and Reach, there's these unfortunate lag circumstances where sometimes a single driver would just get a black screen and just pretty much just be like stuck out of the game. And that would happen very often. On Reach and Halo 4, sometimes it would happen to the whole lobby, but a lot of the times it would just happen to a single driver, and you'd see them just like drive off into a wall or something like that, and it was just really unfortunate. So that's something that you'll see come into play, I'm sure, in some of these later episodes of Reach and Halo 4 races, because that happened a lot, and it was very unfortunate. A lot of drivers, I know I definitely got conked out of a few races because of it, and many drivers that I know have been conked out of races. Pretty much everybody, even people with good connections, have been conked because of black screens, and I don't know. It's just unfortunate. Let's get back into the racing here.
They hold on to it. RCR slows up DJ a little bit, allows Gator to come through. Snake building a huge lead while all this is happening. There goes DJ, gonna make a slide job on RCR. RCR goes back to the inside. Right now we have a side-by-side battle with Luke and Gator. And there goes Luke on the inside of Gator. Gator's gonna try to hold him off though. Matt and Luke are trying their best to catch up to Snake, who's in that lead, and this could be the last green flag run, so obviously they're going to be running hard. RCR right next to the wall. Holy crap. I'm surprised he was able to keep it off right there. DJ's going to slide up in front of Gator.
I'm going to look up those trailers on the side here while this is all going on. I want to see if I can find those for the end of this episode.
Luke now just catching up to Matt, and Matt catching up to Snake. DJ bounces off the wall into the inside. That was a cool bounce. But it doesn't matter because there's a caution. We're going to get ready for the restart. Like I said, only about 10-15 laps to go. Drivers warming up their tires. Here we go. We're about to go green. And green flag. DJ gives Luke a monster push. Luke's gonna battle for the lead with Snake already. 3 wide battle in the back, 3 wide battle in the front. Oh, Luke gets 2 tires off right there, slows him down a little bit, but he's gonna slingshot right back and start battling with Snake again.
And 6 years ago on this trailer, that is nuts.
RCR stuck in the back. Here's Matt running that outside he's been running all race. He thinks that the grip will eventually bring him to the lead. He's running the middle now, pretty fast. Luke all over the bumper as Snake, wants to take the lead. There he goes on the inside. They're going side by side. Nope. Not quite yet. Matt running the outside is gaining a ton of ground on them. Matt might even get the inside of Luke. But they're both still trying to get by Snake. Luke's just going to let Matt go, because they both want to get by Snake. Battle in the back there too with DJ, RCR, and Gator.
Sorry, I'm just looking at some of these old videos. They're just dumb.
Luke using his slide line, Matt using sort of a mix. He's going deep on the inside and then sliding to the outside, like I was talking about earlier in the race. Goes to the inside for the speed, slides up for the grip. Now Snake changes his line and is going to run the exact same thing, except he exits really far on the inside. But Matt has a ton of speed and he is gaining on Snake fast.
So here I'm just gonna call it now. We're getting close to the end of this race. So we're gonna see like the whole last portion of it play out here in a little bit. After this race is over, I'll get those trailers up because I think those trailers are pretty cool and a really important aspect into like getting the feel for how this was going into Halo 4, because this is something like completely new, completely different for racing. So sorry to get people on board with it, but when you got enough people on board that were good, clean racers that would, you know, do it the way it was supposed to be done and not cheese it, it just ended up turning into something really cool. And like I said, it's unfortunate because this first race is super early on, and like I said, this track, Darkstar, all the credit to him. Like, this is a great regular oval track, but this is not designed for this series. And some of the tracks that come in later on that are designed for this series, you can see work insanely well because they're designed with this in mind. Whereas this track was just made to be, you know, racing normal oval style, and it worked really well for that. It worked amazingly for that. It was just sort of the thing there. Like, we were just, you know, just starting out the series, and we just needed stuff to work with essentially. Like, Matt and I weren't too refined in our forge skills yet, but you'll see some of the tracks that Matt makes later on are freaking tremendous, and I can't wait to show some of those. I wish they got to be raced more because some of the tracks that he made specifically for the series were great. And I made some okay ones. All right, I didn't. Halo 5 was where I started making the solid tracks, but some of the tracks I made on Halo 4 for World of Outlaw were decent, but some of Matt's tracks are just absolutely nuts. So we'll get to see those eventually, and we're really getting into the nitty gritty here. So let's get back into it.
Almost off the track. Matt hits those 2 tires off the track because of Snake pushing him so far down, and that makes Luke gain a ton of ground. Luke not really happy with that, so he's going to try his best to get by Snake. And here they both come. They're going to stay even. Matt's going to push Luke a little bit. Here goes Luke sliding by Snake. Such a close battle right here. Now Matt, that has allowed Matt to get the inside of Snake, and he's going to try to get it. Didn't get it there, but he's still battling. Luke's going to put Snake on the inside a little bit for obvious reasons. Now it's Luke and Matt battling for the lead. They're side by side. Wow.
So this 3-wide battle was pretty much like the 3 contenders throughout the
DJ's
entire
also
race.
gaining
pretty much.
as well. DJ seems to be better on these long
freaking
runs.
Motorcycle by the house there in the retro.
Luke slams Snake up a little bit. Snake's going to push him all the way down to the inside as usual. Luke gets those 2 tires, slows him down a ton. Matt gets a huge run on the outside.
But it really, I mean...
Now they've got a little bit of ground on Snake. And I believe a caution.
Late race caution. You can even see at the end here, though, like that battle between Matt, Snake, and I was actually really good for that green flag run there. And that's the sort of stuff that you can expect when I get to some of these later races that I'm really hyping up.
Gator was running in the back trying to gain, and he just
when we get into those races, you can expect to see that stuff, and you can expect to see that like very consistently. A lot less of the redneck cheese, of just like conking around and not drifting and stuff like that. A lot of just like good racing, slide jobs, crossovers, stuff like that. That's what you see when we get into the future. So like that battle that we saw right there, definitely expect more of that when we get into some of these later races. But this race, as you can see there, like once we got, everybody like started to figure it out, we started to have some really good battling. But we're getting into the end here.
Green white checkers are always exciting. I'm gonna get over here.
Green white checkered. There you go. Of course, I'm sure plenty of these races end in that fashion.
But this will be a crazy start. You're gonna want to pay attention to everyone.
I should probably explain that quick. So green white checkered, thing that we'll see in a lot of these episodes for World of Outlaw, I'm sure, and some of the oval races as well. So basically, you hit the line, goes green flag. You go around once. You hit the white flag, which means one to go. Go around again, and then that should be the race. But what ends up conking sometimes with green white checkers is sometimes there's cautions before you hit the white flag. If there's a caution before the leader crosses the line to the white flag, then that caution counts, and you line up for another green white checkered. I think you get like 3 tries before it's just like the last try is just anything goes basically. And you'll see some of those third try green white checkers in some of these races, I'm sure. I don't think it happens here, but that's definitely happened in the past. And yeah, and that also that detail about like the crash needing to be before the leader crosses the line at the white flag. That's very important because we have a lot of races decided by that. That's very important. So I don't know if that comes into play here, but that may come into play in the future with more green white checkered scenarios.
Here they come. They're coming to the starting line. And green, green, green. DJ gives Matt a huge push on the outside, and Luke in general gets a fast start. Ross Brothers racing 3 wide for the lead immediately.
Yeah, Snake didn't have the best restart there. Which is unfortunate for him because he was competitive a lot of this race.
DJ's sitting there in third. DJ's going to try to hold that third, but Snake gets on by. White flag, 1 to go. Does Luke have anything for Matt? Let's watch him. Luke's gaining a little bit of ground. Matt's going to hold that inside. He's going to slide. Luke's going to go inside. Luke needs a run. Doesn't get it. Matt takes the first win. Snake third, DJ fourth. And then photo finish between RCR and Gator in fifth.
So yeah, pretty close finish at the end.
And then Gator and RCR had a really close finish too. Right there.
Of course, the
little bit of flippage going on after
finish line crashes. You love to see that.
Right there. Matt and Luke winning their first ever races. Luke gets the Division 1 win, Matt gets the Division 2, and Matt also gets the overall.
Yeah, so I mentioned that because of the divisions. Which, I mean, I'm not, for the rest of these World of Outlaw races I might do, I'm not going to worry about the divisions too much because, I don't know, it's just a weird thing that we did at the time. I'm going to focus more on, like, the overall battle because the overall battle for this, like, this first, oh my god, his goose just completely died. For this first race, this first season for World of Outlaw ends up being pretty crazy, like pretty crazy points battle. There's actually low-key a lot of these Halo 4 seasons. Like Halo 5, we haven't seen too many like crazy regular season points battles. We've seen some really good grand finals points battles, to be fair. We've seen a lot of close grand finals, but almost every single grand finals has been like a close battle. But man, like some of these freaking Halo 4 series came down to really close regular season battles. I have 3 in mind that I'm sure we'll go through. I'm sure we'll do like a little, like whole season retrospect of just like showing how close it was and stuff like that. To give some perspective on it. And there might even be more. There might be some that I'm forgetting about, so I'll have to check for some of those. I know there's at least 3 is what I'm saying. This first World of Outlaw season has a really close finish. First TRS season has a really close finish, and the first Firestone Firehawk season, that's another unique series I'll have to explain, also has a really close finish. So that's 3 like super close regular season battles in these Halo 4 series that I can think of off the top of my head. I think there may be another one, maybe 2, but that's just like 3 that I just remember right off the bat. So yeah, so in conclusion, there was the race. You know, pretty solid first race. It didn't go as poorly as I thought it would. In retrospect, here I thought it was way worse. It actually wasn't that bad, really. Like once we got down to 6 people, I feel like it was pretty. I feel like it was pretty good. From that point on. Man, I don't want to show the schedule. I don't want to show the schedule. Because it's just gonna. I want to, but I don't want to, so I'm not going to. But I will show the results docs. So there's the results docs, how they looked for World of Outlaws series. Yeah, a lot of notes here, a lot of notes, and keeping track of the laps led as well. Again, don't even know why I did that, but you know, we had that here for the World of Outlaws series. That's cool, I guess. You can see the qualifying laps, all that cheese, which heat they were in, where they finished in the heat, all that jazz, and then the classic point system. So that's kind of interesting. For some reason, we used a different point system for the divisions. I don't recall why, but for the overall battle, we used that same classic point system that you see a lot, not in every HRL series, but that you see a lot throughout HRL. This classic 16 for the win, and then down by 1. And you see some variations on this where it's like 17 for the win, 15 for second, then down by 1, stuff like that. But so, like this is like the OG point system. Bonus points for heat wins, I think. So each heat winner got a bonus point. I think the most laps led in the lead laps bonus points just counted for the division battle. So that was kind of weird. I don't know why there was all like the different stuff there, but that's how it worked for the overall. And the overall is really what matters here when I'm going to be going back through these races. So pretty good first World of Outlaw race there. Like I said, not as bad as I remembered it. And I hope you guys enjoyed that little blast from the past there for Halo 4 World of Outlaw. And definitely let me know if you want to see more Halo 4 World of Outlaw, because I got plenty of it. Like a lot of maybe like half the Halo 4 World of Outlaw races I think are worthy of HRL history episodes with how good of races they were. So, like I said, the Chili Bowl race. Definitely see that in a future Chili Bowl track history video. Maybe that race in its own will have its own, like some of the Chili. That's the crazy thing about the Chili Bowl races is like I could do a track history video on Chili Bowl races, but I could also do like just separate videos focused on like those individual Chili Bowl races because there's so many good ones. But yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed that. But we're gonna transition on to the end of the episode here to these trailers. So this is the same thing that I did with MCC, showing these trailers. So Matt had 2 trailers for Halo 4 World of Outlaws going into it, and let's take a look at them. There's Chili Bowl right there. Classic track. Very early iteration of it here too. The earliest, actually. So I'll pause it there for a second so you can. These credits are actually really funny. So if you want to look through these credits, they're pretty great. And they're pretty great in the next one too. So yeah, there's the first trailer for Halo 4 World of Outlaws, short and sweet. So is the next one, and you got to see a look at some of the tracks in there. Again, there's the credits. So this track was the track that I was talking about, made by Darkstar. That second track that I was talking about, that's actually the second race of the season. I think that one ended up pretty well, so maybe we'll do another episode with this race as well. But yeah, so this is that second track that I was talking about, made by Darkstar, and this one I think raced a little bit better for World of Outlaw, in my opinion. I think that this one fitted a little bit better than the other one. We still did the other one, but I think this one fitted a little more. We did the other one though just because we needed tracks, really. All right, so going through here. The other track shown off, it's the only other track, right? Yeah, the other track shown off is actually the original. This is as OG gets, so I'm sure we'll be looking at these trailer shots again when we get to that Chili Bowl track history video at some point. And yeah, this is OG Chili Bowl, and just like super early on here, you can see like the walls were like the the straight like vertical walls instead of, you'll see in later versions of Chili Bowl and Halo 4, we already started to figure out the curved walls and stuff like that, to where like it was basically an early version of the cushion. So when you see the later version of Chili Bowl and Halo 4, the later version of Chili Bowl basically has like an early version of what the cushion ends up being on Halo 5, is the best way I can explain it. But this is super early Chili Bowl. Yeah, no way you're fitting like just little pits there just like for looks. You can't use that for fits. It's just not happening. And like the different objects and stuff like that. So this is just really rough, like mock version of it, literally version 1. And then once we get to these Chili Bowl races, you'll see how it evolves and definitely like got better with every iteration, especially on this game. Like the final Chili Bowl in this game was pretty sick. So a few more shots of it there. It was still good on this. This early version was still good, but the later versions are great. Yeah, my personal favorite credit is costume designer Justin Baker. All right. So let's get on to the second trailer. And this one's very similar. Like, this is very much a sequel to the first one, so. Oh my god. I have to do another. I forgot. This episode needs another. This trailer needs another episode. Shit. Oh my god. I forgot. God damn it. I forgot about this. Oh my god, it looks so stupid. It looks like a parody and it's not. Oh my, it's so dumb. Oh, that grind was nasty, though. Yeah, the credits again. I love how Justin resumed. He retains his costume designer spot. That's great. Well, I completely forgot that this was a thing for some reason. I don't know how that happened. Now I have to fucking explain it. Okay, so the second trailer, we'll go in. I'm gonna talk for a little bit here, so we'll go in like 0.25 speed or something. Maybe 0.5. 0.5 might be fine. Okay, so the second trailer. So what we thought about for a little bit, and obviously, as you saw from that first video, we did not end up going through with it. I think we may have done like a couple races in other series with this idea here, but we didn't end up going through with it for the World of Outlaw because it was just too cheesy. I think we got this game type mod like around this time where you could adjust the size of the gooses. And that's what we did. We experimented with that. We changed the size of the gooses to like 50% or something like that, I'm guessing. I don't exactly remember. And you could tell it just looks absolutely stupid. But it raced different. With the gooses at the different sizes, it felt and raced completely different. And it was really cool at first because it was like a more reckless version of the regular World of Outlaw that we were already racing. So like you'll see here, where a lot of people in these trailer clips, they just flip on their own. Like in the middle of the track, they'll just turn too hard and they'll flip. And we just thought that was really cool. We were like, oh, that's, that could actually happen in dirt racing with certain cars on certain tracks, certain series, like stuff like that can actually happen. Like right there, there's no, I mean, you only saw the later half of it, but no wall contact right there, and that driver went down. And you'll see that a lot throughout these trailer clips and just these crazy crashes, and where there's actually some pretty cool racing with it because it was so like on edge that you just had to be super careful, to where if you pulled off a really nice move with these goose settings and like held onto it, it was just it was really satisfying and just like a lot different. A lot different. It felt entirely different, like a completely different game. So yeah, this is just sort of an idea that we messed around with, and as ridiculous as it looks, you just have to trust me, it actually was really fun. Like, it was really fun to race with, and it genuinely felt different, and like it could have been its own series. So unfortunately that never came to fruition. I think maybe I can do an episode on it in the future. I think for one series, we may have done like one actual race where we experimented with it, and it turned out okay. But mostly what it was just too hard. Like, it was just too hard for the average driver. Like, it was already hard enough for a new driver to come in on those, Jesus, that thumbnail. God. I'm getting conked now on the normal gooses. But then we moved to that system, and that system was just so difficult. Like it was just so hard. For veterans of the series, it was hard, and they would flip off, and there'd be so many cautions and so many crashes and stuff like that. So that's why we never ended up going through with it, which is unfortunate because it was a cool concept. But yeah, it was just too difficult, and it was it was fun to race if you got like with a few friends, like a lobby of 4 in a custom game. It was fun. But if you had like a racing group of like 10 to 12 people or something like that in a full lobby, there'd just be way too many crashes. There'd literally be crashes every single lap. The race would just be a caution fest. And that's why we never went through with it. So that's kind of sad, because it was, like I said, it was a cool concept. But we still have that second trailer to document it. And like I said, I think there may be one race where we actually did with it. So if I do find that race in the future, I will do an HRL history episode on that race because it's pretty dope. And yeah, so there you go. So there's the conclusion of this episode. First World of Outlaw race, World of Outlaw Halo 4 trailers, and even like some early concept cheese on Halo 4. So a pretty packed episode here, and this really paves the way for future HRL history Halo 4 World of Outlaw videos, because trust me, there will be future videos of those. I can guarantee that, because there's that first race is genuinely one of the worst ones. And it wasn't that bad, but that first race is genuinely one of the worst ones, and they just get so much better throughout the season. So there will definitely be more of them. I just wanted to, you don't want to go in hot with the chili bowl right away. Like, that's just not how you do things. All right. GG's.